So, they may not be long term. It may be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Sometimes these ads might go over sort of 2 or 3 years, depending on how successful it is. But that is a recurring income stream for Google and Facebook. How big are they? They rule the planet on subscription income. Google makes its money on subscription income. Google Ads is where it makes its money, amongst other things, but generally it's on subscription, things like that there. So the biggest companies on the planet have recurring income. This is the Business Owners Smashing It Online podcast for entrepreneurs and business owners looking for cool online tools, apps and strategies to make business easy online. My name is Nick Cree and I'm your host. Each episode features a guest expert demystifying the online universe, sharing inspirational ideas and providing tested real-world strategies to help you get the most of what's available online to grow your business today. Don't be a slave to your business. Get your business working for you. Subscribe now and get some great content and ideas for you and your business today. Excellent. All right. Well, let's move on to the main billing for tonight. And look at that. We're pretty well on time. And that is the 12 recurring revenue streams in business. So let me bring up our presentation. Okay. And let's advance this on here. All right. Presented by me. So there's me. So I think I've introduced myself, so you don't need much more of an introduction there, I'm hoping. Let me just put onto presentation mode. All right. So recurring income is one of the holy grails of business. And the reason for that is you can you can put all of the effort in the front end, and you can reap the rewards of it out the back end forever and a day without necessarily having to put in a whole lot more effort. So what is recurring revenue? Let me just move my note screen. So recurring revenue is, I would say, not to be confused with passive income. Recurring income, recurring revenue isn't necessarily passive. It doesn't mean that there isn't any work. And I think passive income has been inferred to mean that there is no work to do with it. You just get paid, regardless of what's happening. And while that's true to some extent, there generally is still a level of effort that goes into maintaining a passive income stream or a recurring revenue stream. So some examples of recurring revenue are things like subscriptions, commissions, referrals, as I say, passive income, residual income. The real benefit of it is that you really just do something once and you get paid for it multiple times. So probably a good example of recurring revenue. How many people here have watched or go to the movies? So put up your hand if you go to the movies, or maybe watch it on Netflix. So movies are a really good example of recurring revenue because the movie gets made once, but it gets sold over and over and over and over and over again. So, we're quite familiar with it and as being consumers, and those are like, I suppose you call it royalty income or, ongoing revenue. So there is an example that most of us, I think, can relate to. And I'll cover some more examples as we go through. All right. So why bother with recurring revenue? So most businesses are ones that have to keep selling their products, have to keep selling their services over and over and over again in order to be viable. Now, which is great. You can set up systems there so that you've got a system that just keeps running through and generating leads. And from that, there you can make your sales. But there is effort that goes into it month after month, week after week, to ensure that machine keeps ticking along. So, and the problem with that is that if you stop working, generally the income stops. So one of the benefits with recurring revenue is, think about this here. If you knew without a doubt that you could make twice your revenue without doubling your cost, time, and effort, would that be worth it? So, yep. So, and really that's one of the benefits of recurring revenue. In fact, sometimes it's not even just doubling your revenue. You can triple your revenue. You can even 10x your revenue by implementing some good recurring revenue streams. And there are some businesses on this planet that exist only with recurring revenue. So some of you will know things like network marketing. That is a recurring revenue stream. So that is what people think of when you've got that recurring revenue. But that's not the only example. And those are not the biggest businesses that are out there with recurring revenue streams. So I just want you to imagine this. Just imagine that on the first of every month, you got a payment that came into your bank account, your business bank account, that covered all of the expenses and all of your business in the month. What sort of difference would that make to your business and to your productivity? So it probably sounds a bit like a dream sort of thinking you could do that, but it is absolutely possible. And the reason why I know it's possible is that I have run 2 businesses on this model. So I've had 2 businesses that 100% covered all of the overheads, all of the expenses, and so everything else that came in the month was was really almost profit on the top. There are additional expenses, but almost profit. And that was to the extent too that the recurring revenue covered things like salaries and wages. I had a business there with 25 staff. The recurring revenue that I had in that business there covered everything. Staff, wages, rent, electricity, power, absolutely everything. So that's really part of what I want to share with you tonight, is getting you to start to think about how can you do that in your own business. And I know that some people here tonight have got businesses that have a part of the business on recurring revenue and are starting to grow some of their businesses with that recurring revenue. But there are a whole lot of models, and we'll work through that there. But I just want you to take this question with you after you leave tonight. Is just imagine if all of your expenses and overheads are covered on the first of every month with the recurring revenue that comes in. Remembering that you don't have to do you pretty much don't have to do anything more with that. It just keeps rolling in. And so if you think about that as well too, and this is what really appeals to me. Since what was it, 1998, I have never had a business that has not had a recurring revenue element to it. When I came over to Australia from New Zealand in 2008, the decision that I made then was that any business that I got into or created had to have a recurring revenue component. So when I arrived in Australia, the business that I was in the process of setting up was one in affiliate marketing. So I was going to become an affiliate marketer. And I can tell you that that is more difficult than it sounds. I've had read copious amounts from people that had come in from the States on the real benefits of working with affiliate programs. But I saw a mind map from someone by the name of Rick Sheffrin, who's an internet marketer from back in the early 2000s. And he showed me his mind map. I met him when I went to the States to a program with Jay Abraham. And showed me his mind map on what it takes to run an affiliate marketing business, all the roles that were in it. It was no different to a standard business. And he was running a shoe shop. He had a chain of shoe stores. And he said, the roles that you have in a traditional business, you've got the same roles in affiliate income business if you're just promoting affiliate programs. So it's not really a simple road to riches. It can be, but there's a lot of work and organization and systemization that goes in. The great thing about it that he did say was that unlike his shoe store where he had to often turn up, the affiliate marketing side of things, he could often set a lot of that on autopilot just to run. Still had to be there for some things, but it was a lot less work for him than it was running a physical business. But I'm not suggesting today that you're going to replace your business. We're just looking at options to add to your business. So when you think about if you had enough income that was coming in, like affiliate income or recurring revenue income coming in, what would that do for your lifestyle? And, sort of thinking about your goals and objectives and your dreams and, really what you're in business for. And I would imagine, I would hope that everyone that's on the screen today is not in business just for the purpose of being in business. hopefully you love what you do in business, but that's not really your purpose in it. The greater purpose is doing other things like travel. So for me, I really enjoy travel and getting out of the country, although that's a little more challenging at the moment. Hopefully at some point in the future will open up. So really the middle one for me is what it is, playing golf. So Friday is my golf day. And I did that for two reasons. One is I made a conscious decision I wanted to not work on Fridays. So in order for me not to sit in front of my computer, because I've got a home office, I had to go out and do something. And a lot of my hobbies had revolved around being online. So I took up golf, which got me out of the house, out of a computer screen and away from it. So, so it allows me to do that. Then you've got financial objectives, like, when you're creating the revenue in your business and the profits in your business, what are you doing? Are you buying investment property? You're putting it into shares, and there are a range of options there. So the money that you make shouldn't be just spent. Part of it should be going into somewhere where you're generating additional revenue. Obviously family as well. For those who've got family, various different stages, your kids might have grown up or left, or it might be sort of elderly parents, or it might be you are the elderly parent that needs to be able to provide for those that are younger as well. Lifestyle, what are the toys that you want? A mate of mine's just bought himself a boat. He said he didn't realize that the cost of the boat, he filled it up and it cost him $800 in diesel. And he said the tank wasn't even full then. So, so there are some activities there that require a fair bit of income just to maintain it. But again, recurring revenue allows you to do that sort of thing. And retirement, I don't think I want to be sitting around playing bridge in my retirement like those old dudes there. But I got that photo because it reminded me I was off at the Hope Island Links golf course, and in one of the rooms curtained off was a whole lot of elderly people playing bridge. So that was their retirement. But, that was all about sort of lifestyle, and they're living in a good part of their world. So think about, if you had, recurring income that was going to go on for a reasonable time into the future, what sort of things would you do with your money? What's important in terms of your goals and lifestyle? Because that's really what this is all about. All right, so here's some of the benefits of recurring income. Obviously, cash flow. So, you've just got regular cash flow coming in. And in fact, you can get it to the point where, if you're covering all of your business overheads and expenses, you never have to worry about cash flow again. You can take a holiday without ever having to worry about, where there's going to be enough money to cover the expenses while you're away. You get an additional low effort profit center. So you put all of the effort in the front end generally with recurring income. So it all goes in at the front end, and then for the rest of the time, it's low effort and not a lot of work that has to be done to maintain it. And often you can outsource some of that work as well too. So if you've got a virtual assistant team or you've got staff, then you can outsource it for them to look after it. It's reasonably easy to maintain. So smooth out cash flow highs and lows we talked about. You can add complementary products and services to your existing offering. So for instance, let's say if you're a mortgage broker, someone here is a mortgage broker. I know that industry very well, having run a business in that. We were able to add in insurance products and services that we didn't sell. So we just referred it on, and then we got an ongoing trail commission from the insurance company who had employed advisors that would then go and sell that insurance. So our core focus was still mortgage broking. That's what we did, but we're able to add other products and services without having to employ more people and without having to dilute what our central core business was. In the case of an economic catastrophe, you have some insurance against that. So did we have some form of economic catastrophe through last year? So for some it was, for some it was a great year. But you've got things like, what happened last year with COVID. You've got the GFC, you've got the share market crash. There was the transport workers, dock strikes. There are all of these things that happen, which we have no control over. If you've got a revenue stream that comes in regardless, then you have got a lot more protection against these catastrophic economic events than other people that are relying on, having to make sales, every month in order to ensure that the business is viable and keeps going. It's a set and forget system in the sense that you can create it and then just let it run. And it can be as simple as adding another line on the bottom of your invoices, your emails, your thank you letters, that sort of thing there. So, they can be quite simple things to set up. And you can use a recurring income system for paid lead generation. So you can get leads, brand new leads that you get paid for, that keep on going forever and a day too. So we'll talk about how some of this works as well too. So does that make sense? Great. All right. So here's some examples of recurring income. Web hosting. Know that one really well. I had a web hosting and maintenance business. So I get paid every month for hosting people's websites. Microsoft, who use Microsoft products or Google products? So again, or Apple products, they are on subscription. So it's a recurring revenue. So I know that with my G Suite subscription, I'm paying for that every month. If I stop paying, the service goes away and I lose what I've got there. So Microsoft, for Word, Excel, those sort of things, these are all on subscription these days. Electricity and utilities, who's got lights on at the moment? They are all subscription services. So most of these subscriptions, we are the consumers of and we're paying. Mobile phone contracts, Naked Wines. So Naked Wines is a wine club, which I pay a regular monthly subscription, and you can get wine on subscription. So and you'll order it, but you just pay the subscription, and then you can get your case of wine just sent to you. Great outfit, really, really good. BX Networking Group, that's a membership, like a physical membership where you turn up to meetings. That's a subscription program, recurring income program. Facebook ads and Google ads. For Facebook and Google, they are recurring income. People create ads on their platform. They create the ad once and they let it run. So, they may not be long term. It may be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Sometimes these ads might go over sort of 2 or 3 years, depending on how successful it is. But that is a recurring income stream for Google and Facebook. How big are they? They rule the planet on subscription income. Google makes its money on subscription income. Google Ads is where it makes its money, amongst other things, but generally it's on subscription, things like that there. So the biggest companies on the planet have recurring income. Amazon Prime, that's a really good example. Who's got an Amazon Prime account? And you pay for it every month. Okay, a couple of us. I've got it. And what they offer are things like free delivery. So you order anything off Amazon and they will deliver to you for free. They've got other benefits that come along with it as well too, in that there are movies for free, there are free music. That's all part of that Amazon Prime membership. Flybys, credit card programs, they are recurring income programs. The only difference between that and some of the others is you get paid in discounts, you don't get paid in cash. So if you're using Flybys, you can accrue a number of points there and then go and cash it in to get petrol. So you're missing out the part where you get the cash. You just go straight and to the vendor and spend it. Netflix, Stan, Kindle, they're also examples of recurring revenue businesses. So as you look at some of these, are you getting some sense of, or starting to get some ideas about how you might implement some of what they do in your business? I know there's some businesses here that really are well suited to this. Particularly, the answer is yes, and I know that you have you've got recurring revenue streams that you're building there. But for others of us, can you see the opportunities there? Yep. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to run through now 12 options for recurring revenue. I'm not going to get a lot of time to really sort of dwell on them in any detail. I'll talk to you about how we can look at some of these for your business later on in more detail if you want to explore those. But today is really just to introduce you to these concepts. I would suggest it might be a good thing to write down all of these 12 that I've got. And if you think of yourself, or if you hear yourself saying, "Oh, look, that wouldn't work in my business," I'd encourage you to turn that around and say, how could this work in my business? Because it may surprise you to think about how some of these can. And I can guarantee you that many of these that I'm going to share with you tonight, you will be able to implement these in your business. So first one is to join affiliate programs. So what's an affiliate program? Their affiliate program is someone else's products and services that you promote, and they will pay you when someone purchases after you've sent them to them. So some simple programs that you'll be aware of are things like Amazon. Amazon's got a referral program. So Amazon sells books, and you can put a link on your website to sell a book. So if you've got a business and there's a book that you refer to on a regular basis, I know there's some authors here as well too. This is different to that. You can sell other people's books through a link on your website. Every time someone buys a book, you get paid by Amazon. So, and that's a very simple thing to put on your website, very simple to set up, very simple to put on your website. And if there are a range of resources in a resources area that you recommend, then you can do that. So simplest way is just to put a link in. The more complex way, which is going to guarantee you revenue, is if there are products that you use, read, in the course of your business or working with clients, and you write how-to guides for those products, or you write a review of a book. The best things I've seen are web hosting. There are web hosting companies that have got affiliate programs, and some of the web sites that are out there that are in the affiliate programs write reviews on the various web hosting platforms. So they'll do comparisons, they'll write reviews, and of course, all of the links that are in there are affiliate links. So they can be promoting, say, 12 different programs in a review site, comparing them all. And they've got 12 different opportunities for people to click on a link and go through and purchase web hosting. So for some of these companies, I'm just trying to think of the name of one of them, WP Beginner. So that's a site there that is littered with affiliate links. They help beginners, using WordPress. And they've got some really, really helpful information and articles. And they do things like review plugins that are helpful. So I reviewed a plugin here with that PDF embedder. That one's a free one, so there's no affiliate program with that one there. But they're reviewing premium plugins that people click on the links and they'll get paid if they go and purchase it. And so they pay for a lot of their website costs with that affiliate commission. So they cover that expense there. It means they can just keep running their website. So all sorts of affiliate programs out there. If you want to find affiliate programs, just do a Google search or just do a search for affiliate program and your business, like a niche. So let's say a coaching. I did that this afternoon. I typed in coaching affiliate programs. And there are a ton of things that come up. And what came up? Anthony Robbins, I think, he runs an affiliate program, and there's a ton of them there. So whatever your industry is, type it in. You'll find a heap of them, and they're free to join. And so you can join, and then you can start promoting pretty much just straight away. Next one is to create your own affiliate program. Not as hard as you might think. In fact, I did that at just over New Year. So there's an outfit out there that some of you might have heard of called ClickBank. So ClickBank is one of the easiest ways to create an affiliate program, in that you don't need any software, you don't need any complicated setup. It's clickbank.com, and you can list your products on that platform there, and other people can go and find it and then go and promote it, and you pay them a commission out of the sale. So last year I ran the VA Success Blueprint. I ran a Facebook challenge last year. We had 5 days, which I recorded in Facebook, and it was all on the process of hiring VAs. So this wasn't the major program that I sold. This was the marketing program that I had to sell my program. I turned that into a mini course, which is on my website. So created the website, created the pages on my website, which I had up anyway because we were doing it for the promotions. So I didn't have to create anything new. It was already there, and I have listed it on ClickBank now for other people to go and find and sell. So that's selling the mini course that my marketing is selling for $97. So, and I give away, I think I said it at 60% of the commission goes to the affiliate. So, and ClickBank have got thousands of people that are looking for programs to promote. So, but here's a really good thing about it. If anyone sells that program, because this is my lead generator, I've got the main VA program that people can join. And that one there is a higher price product. It's our premium product. And so anyone that comes in to join the mini program, we can upgrade them to the bigger product. So I haven't had to go and find these leads. Someone else in the ClickBank network has gone out to market and find people. They get paid for it. So they're effectively paying for my marketing, and I get paid when they come in. So you can afford to give away 100% of your upfront costs to the affiliate. And there are some affiliate programs on there that give away 100% because you get the lead. Does that make sense? So, and then once you've got their name and email address, because you get that, then you can then upsell them to your other programs. So that it's a good lead generator. The other thing I meant to say about the previous one was when you've got other affiliate programs that you're promoting other people's programs, if you can add value to those in some way, then you're more likely you can get the lead as well. Problem with some of these affiliate programs is you don't actually get the name and address of the person that has bought it. But if you've got some sort of way of adding value, so that if someone buys the affiliate product, and your pitch can be something like you'll provide the training with it, or you've got an ebook with it, or you've got a program with it to help them use it. I know someone that was, what was his name? James Schramko down in Sydney talks about it. He's a business coach, and one of his early affiliate products was selling cameras. So he was an affiliate for selling cameras, but he used to offer tutorials for free tutorials for people that want to learn how to use the camera. So that's how he got the lead generation. So clever way of going about it. So start to think about some ideas about how you can use this more than just making the money. Next one's a membership program. So courses are all the rage at the moment. We're in an online world where people are used to doing what we're doing right now, sitting in front of a screen on Zoom and these sort of outfits. So courses and membership programs are a big opportunity, and they are being pushed like crazy at the moment. I don't know about you, but I see in my Facebook feed tons and tons of ads about how to put on courses, how to sell courses, that sort of side of things there. So, and the economy for that is growing exponentially at the moment. So selling your knowledge. So if you think you're in a business there that, you can't really sell your knowledge, let's say, for instance, let's go back to insurance. How are you going to sell a membership program to someone on insurance? People are buying insurance. They don't want it. They have to have it. It's a peace of mind and protection. They're not going to buy a course on insurance, are they? But if you're good at what you do and you've got a specialty in it, let's say your specialty is maybe income protection insurance, and you've got a really good process, you can create a membership site to sell that, a membership program or a course to sell to other insurance advisors on how to sell income protection. So you've now got a new client set, and it's not your consumers, it's your colleagues. So you can turn your colleagues into clients by selling your knowledge to help them do what you do very well. So, and if you're worried about creating competitors, you really don't need to worry about it at all. I was talking to a good mate of mine who runs a membership, courses and programs down in Melbourne. And he was saying that out of only about 5% of people that ever join his program ever become competitors of his. So, and the reason for that is there are people who are consumers. They will consume all of your content, but they won't do anything. So they'll happy to buy it, and you release something else, they'll go and buy it, they'll consume it, they'll read it, they'll do nothing. There's only a small percentage of people that will actually take action, and it's about 5%. So you can safely sell your knowledge knowing that you're not creating competitors. You might create one or two, they'll probably end up becoming our colleagues. So membership site, easy to set up. There are all sorts of platforms out there. There is the Answer Yes platform out there. If you're into training with businesses in Australia, you've got lynda.com, you've got Thinkific, you've got LinkedIn Learning. So there's a ton of them out there. Kajabi. My favorite is WordPress because I'm all over WordPress, and all of my membership stuff is there, and it's reasonably straightforward to put together. So it doesn't take a lot of effort to do it. All the effort goes into creating the content. But if you've already got content there, and most of us will have content, so if you're thinking about putting together some sort of program, look at what you've already got and use that. Don't go out creating new stuff until you know that you've got demand for it, and never go and create any content before you've sold it. So the secret to creating membership sites and is make sure there's demand out there. You do that by selling it first, and then you make the content. So if it's a 6-week program, you can make the next module a week ahead, which is pretty much what I did for the VA program. All right, next one is subscription service. So we're familiar with subscription services. Newspapers did it for years. Wouldn't want to be in the newspaper business these days, because the new subscription service is Google and Apple and some of these ones. But subscription services have been around for a long, long, long time. So they're a great thing. So if you think about information and knowledge, that's good for subscriptions. I've got there's a chap that I know that lives up on Magnetic Island, Roy Carter, and he sells a newsletter on subscription. He writes a newsletter every week. He sells it on subscription. And I think, how the heck can you do that? Who would buy an email newsletter? But he does. So that's a really simple process. And he sells, his email newsletter is all about how to set up an online business. So if you've got specialist knowledge, you could do that. So you could do it with a physical publication, like digital magazines have started to take off. So last year there was a rise of some of these digital magazines. So you can sell magazines. But subscriptions are a good service. What about gym memberships? That's a subscription. How many people go to the gym? I mean, what I meant to say is, how many people have got a gym subscription, but maybe whether they use it or not? That's generally me. So that's a subscription. Are you a member of a club, which have got annual fees and dues? That's a subscription. So this is probably one of the easiest ones to sell, is to think about what your clients and customers are consuming and what they get from you. Can you turn that into a subscription service? Now, I'm going to give you an example here, which is the difference between subscription upfront. And I'm going to use a business that I had, which was a website business, building websites. And so typically with building websites, and web developers are going to absolutely love this. And I know someone that's got a $1 million business selling websites on subscription. And he's on the Gold Coast in Australia here. Sometimes he is. He's often in the Philippines too, because he's got his team there. I think he spends more time here at the moment though. But typically a website might be, I don't know, so $3,000 to $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for an average standard, business website, which is generally an upfront cost. So, people are paying for that upfront. And so for some businesses, particularly startups that don't have that cash, it's an outlay that maybe they can't quite afford, or it doesn't quite get there. So they get something that's maybe not quite as expensive, but it's not quite as good either. And then the web developer misses out on that sale because it's too expensive at the moment for the place that the business is. But what if you, instead of charging, say, $5,000 up front, what if you charged instead $297 a month? So you turn it into a subscription. And the average length or life of a website is 2 to 3 years. So a website is really only good for about 2 to 3 years before it needs to be rebuilt again. So let's say 3 years. So if you charge $297 a month for 3 years, how much money is that over that 3-year period? Anyone got a calculator? It's $10,692. So your $5,000 website now nets you $10,692. So it is over 3 years. The downside is you don't get all the money up front, but you get it over time. Helps you with your cash flow because you've got regular cash flow coming in every month. And you haven't got the ups and downs of, making a sale or making lots of sales and then having to deliver it. You can sort of smooth out some of those bumps. There's a great book out there, which I can't remember the name of it now. What was it? I think it's called The Subscription Economy, which really talks about ordinary businesses changing their model from upfront fees to subscription fees and showing that they make a whole lot more money with it. They get more satisfied customers who come back over and over again, that buy more and more often. Because if you imagine 3 years' time when the website's up and due and ready to be to be redone again, and the cost to redo it is just continuing in the subscription, how attractive is that for a business rather than shelling out another $5,000 or $6,000? Does that make sense? So if you think about your business and, what is it you're selling that's got a high upfront cost that you could turn that into, some form of subscription? There's a lot of businesses that could do that. Next one's product fulfillment. Same thing, but on subscription. Anyone heard of the Dollar Shave Club? Yep. So Dollar Shave Club found a gap in the market, and that was men's razor blades. And so the thing about blokes is most of them shave. And they have to keep buying blades, so they're consumables that they have to keep on going to buy. And when you go to the supermarket, they are ridiculously priced. $30 for 4 razor blades. For something that someone doesn't want to do that they have to do. So Dollar Shave Club came around and said, well, let's drop our price of our blades to $1. So they're selling the razor blades for $1, and you'll buy 4 of them. And so their rationale was that use 1 blade a week, 4, that's a month's worth of blades, sign people up to a subscription program, and every month they sent 4 more razor blades on subscription. So, and I think they had a couple of levels. I was paying $7 a month for it. I got sort of razor blades that had 3 blades in it rather than 2, so I got the premium one. So but $7 a month. And for them, that turned into a multi-million-dollar business. They sold that to Gillette for a multi-million-dollar sum, just on a $7 subscription. So, you can imagine, if you're just selling things on an upfront fee, they found a problem. They did a lot of work to work out that, men hated spending the money on this product, especially the ridiculous amounts, and they make these new razor blades or new razor handles that no longer fit the old blades that you have to go and buy a new set of blades for. So there you go. Dollar Shave Club is a product fulfillment. I've also seen it in the pet food industry. There's I think it's who is it here in Queensland? There is a pet store, a Pet Barn, I think it is. Yeah, Pet Barn. You can order your products on your cat food or your dog food or your bird food on subscription. They'll just keep sending it out to you every month. You work out what you're going to need every month. They just keep sending it out. So it's a subscription service. And they've got other benefits that they throw into it as well too. So that's product fulfillment subscriptions. Trail commissions. Those that are in the financial services industry will know this very well. Mortgage brokers and insurance, banks and finance houses, if you introduce business to them, they'll pay you an upfront commission for introducing the business. They'll also pay you an ongoing commission as well too. So for my mortgage broking business, that ended up to be around about $500,000 a year in trail commission coming in from the banks and financial services company. So $500,000 a year was pretty good in terms of that. Certainly covered my rent for the year, covered all of our overheads, covered all of our salaries, covered all of the expenses. And so all of the upfront commissions that came in for mortgages, that was just cream on the top. So I have to say that was a fantastic business. Particularly, sort of having a young family as well too, because we had all the money to be able to spend on, all the things that we wanted to do. We're into natural health and, all of that side of things there, sending them to Steiner schools, So having trail commissions like this just gave us so much more lifestyle choices. We could take holidays. And I could take 6 to 8 weeks off every year at Christmas time. So from Christmas time through the end of January, always had that off during the during the year. And the best time was the 2nd of January, because on the 2nd of January there was about $40,000 that would just drop into my business account right in the middle of holiday period. So this is just a big bonanza. So trail commissions are really good. So it's not restricted just to financial services industry. There are other industries out there that sell that will do trail commissions as well. Again, you can have a look in your industry. Just Google it. You'll find some that Google. Look for aggregators, people that aggregate deals as well too. There are good opportunities out there for business. So the mortgage broker that's on here will be very familiar with it, with this concept. And the good thing about it too is you can sell your trail book. You'll see there are insurance advisors that have been in business for 20 or 30 years, and they've got a really good business that they can sell to someone else. They're selling a book of income that is a solid book that anyone buys it is going to keep on getting paid. And often these trail books get funded by the trail itself. So the insurance companies or the banks will finance someone else to go and buy the book off someone. And so the person that sells it gets the lump sum, and the person that bought it uses the trail commission to pay back the bank that lent them the money to buy it off the person in the first place. So some really, really good benefits with that side of things. All you can consume is another recurring income stream. That's like a what was the example there? Netflix. Netflix is an all you can consume. So you've got more movies you can ever watch on Netflix for $19 a month. So there's a recurring revenue stream. For the movie makers that make the movies, that it's great for them because they've already made the movie once, and Netflix just pays them regardless of whether people watch it or not. Well, they've probably got some formula there, but they get paid for the movie, which is streamed on Netflix. So there's an example. Kindle's another example with books. So I've got a Kindle subscription, and I get all sorts of business books and fiction books on Kindle, which I can read, and it's all part of my $15 a month Kindle subscription. If I were to go and buy those books, it would cost me way more money than that there. So there's a real benefit for people when they're on subscription. Website. So if you've got a website with a membership component to it, like an all you consume. So things like let's say this here, Business Owners Smashing Online, these webinar series that we run. We've got a whole bank of videos now with this here that we can put into, well, in fact, we have now, but put it into a membership site that anyone can come along. So if they're a member of the club, they can come along and they can consume it whenever they like. Yoga studios are another one as well too. So that was one of the things that happened during COVID, is that yoga studios had to go online. And so some of the ones that I've worked with and that I know went online, because they were using Zoom, they were running their classes, they were all getting recorded, and now they've got a bank of videos which are now part of their membership site. So instead of people having to turn up at the time that the class is running, they can now come back to this at any time and use any yoga class that's in the library there. They just pay a monthly subscription fee for it, and so they may be paying $10 a session for yoga. So they might say do 10 sessions a month, but with that all you can consume, they can do yoga every day for maybe, I think they're selling for $27 a month. So they and the yoga studio doesn't have to keep turning up to run these classes. So all you can consume can be good if you've got content there that you can give people access to, and you've already created it. A self-liquidating funnel. You might think, what the heck is a self-liquidating funnel? What that is you create an ad, which you've got on Facebook or Google or somewhere, send them to a landing page, and it may be a free one, it may be a paid one, and then the thank you page may be an upsell to something that's paid. Self-liquidating funnel is where the sales that you make more than pay for the cost of the ads that you're running. So they're often used for lead generation. You may have heard the term tripwire. So tripwire is something where people pay a small amount. So an example of that would be people selling books online, get a free book, just pay for the shipping. That's a tripwire. But that's also a self-liquidating funnel, in that if you're running ads to sell your book there, or to give away your book and really just sell the shipping, if the money that's coming in is more than what you're paying for ads, then that's a recurring income stream. So it's a system that you've got there that's spinning out cash, which you're reinvesting in the business, and some of them have got more cash coming in than what they're spending on ads. So and so you can scale that one up as far as you like, because effectively it's not costing you anything, you're making money off it. So that there is a recurring income stream. And if you put up enough of those, then you've got a reasonably good income source from just self-liquidating funnels. And so with that there, you could be doing it for other businesses where you sell them the lead. So a lot of people use it for their own businesses, and this is how they get their clients. So they get well qualified leads because they've already paid something. But if you don't have a business or you're not interested in a business that is delivering, let's say, to the topic of the book, then you could sell those leads on to someone else. So then you've got two sources of income. So you could just end up doing the marketing with a lead funnel that pays for itself. Just giving you some ideas. All right, next one's an evergreen program. For those of you that run courses and have created courses, then an evergreen program is one which is probably an automated webinar. So you create a webinar, perfect it, it's recorded, and you can have membership programs or some program attached to the back of it that people pay for. So you set up so that your ads are running on a fairly consistent basis to get people to sign up to the webinar. People come along and watch the webinar. At the end of the webinar, there's an offer made. People sign up to the offer. And it really could be anything. You could use this for physical products, and you can do it for online products as well too. And so they make a sale after it, and it could be a one-off sale, or it could be an ongoing sale as well too. Ongoing is obviously a better one, in that then you've got a system here that becomes a recurring revenue stream. So whether you're there or not, whether you're away on holiday or not, whether you're sort of working on something else, this program can just run without you ever touching it and will still generate revenue for you. A VIP club. So a VIP club is something like Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime's a VIP club. eBay has implemented it after Amazon did as well too. If you go to the theme parks have got VIP clubs. And what the theme parks do is that if you buy a VIP membership, so they've got an annual membership subscription. So there's another recurring revenue business, but they also sell VIP, which means that you get to the front of the line. You don't have to queue up with all of the other hordes that are there at the rides. VIP club, you get a pass to the front of the line. So people will pay for additional things. Sometimes you see it in seminars as well. This is when they're running physical seminars. Actually, they do it online as well too, where it might be a free ticket to a seminar, but your VIP tickets are $97, and you get to meet the organizer, and you get to sit in the front row, and you get to have lunch. So those are VIP things. But that's really just for a seminar. But your VIP programs for memberships are things like the theme parks. So how could you implement a VIP program in your business there to get priority access? Now, the thing about VIP clubs is not everybody uses it. So people will pay for it and may not use it. So I know that I had a publishing business, and we used to sell a VIP package to people that bought some of our programs, which gave them, and it was on a subscription, which gave them a what would you call it? It was a marketing consult, 15-minute marketing consult whenever they wanted it. So, and only the VIPs could have it. The interesting thing was that out of all of the subscriptions that we sold to the VIP club, only about 5% of people ever claimed on it. So you worry about it being a lot of work. If everybody claimed, it was going to be a lot of work. But human nature is not everybody claims on it. They just like to have it there for peace of mind, just in case they need it. Peace of mind insurance. So that's something like, again, the website game. I ran a program there where we looked after people's websites. They paid us a monthly subscription to look after the website, make sure it was backed up, make sure it was, everything was updated, and we had an anti-hack guarantee. So if they ever got hacked, then the site would be fixed and restored without any additional payment, and it would be done generally within sort of 6 to 12 hours. So depending on what plan they're on. So often we could restore these things in under 4 hours. So, but the peace of mind was knowing that they were paying money every month to ensure that if an event happened, they were covered. So what is it that you offer in your business that are sort of uncertain things that could happen to people, that you could offer them some sort of ongoing service where if it happens, they can come to you, you'll deliver it to them without any extra cost or extra charge. I mean, that's how insurance companies work. If you crash your car, they'll pay out. So the same sort of principle. So think about what sort of insurances can you offer in your business. Number 12, SaaS. Anyone know what SaaS is? Software as a service. So these are very popular these days, and you'll be using some of these. Who here uses Xero as an accounting system? Yep, few of us. So that is a software as a service application. And so you pay money to use this every month. Do you need to? There are accounting programs you can buy that would sit on your computer. So you could buy that outright, but yet more people use things like Xero because of the convenience. And that's why, and that's really what they're buying. They're buying the convenience. They can share it with their bookkeeper, their accountant themselves. They can run all sorts of reports on it, and they just pay a monthly fee for it. Microsoft products, they're a SaaS service. Google, that's also a software as a service. So, and you've probably got some proprietary software in some of your businesses that are also software as a service. You pay to use it. So if you've got, if you're in the online sort of space there and you've got some software, that's a great thing. I'm going to add in one extra avenue here. And that is aggregation and rebilling. So there are some companies out there that have grown a very large business by aggregating and rebilling. I first came across it in New Zealand when there was a guy that had a single office in a building that I was working out of, and he was a Telstra guy. And his business was aggregating and rebilling. So he would resell Telstra. So he didn't have a phone company. He didn't have a lines company. He would get together a whole lot of customers, get a cheaper price for himself for getting all of these customers together. And so he would pass on some of those savings to his business customers, but he was responsible for the billing. So he billed all those customers, and then he paid Telstra the full amount. So he was aggregating and rebilling. You will have a look at internet service providers. There are internet service providers that do this as well too. So you've got the NBN out there. So the NBN is a separate company. And so everybody that is selling you your internet is an aggregator, and they're rebilling. So they pay the NBN, they sell to you. They don't own the lines. They don't own the internet at all. They are just an intermediary in between it. So in your business, what can you be an intermediary for or a broker for, where you can source the service, the product at a cheaper rate, a better rate, add additional benefits onto it, and then on-sell that to customers and do rebilling. So that's another recurring income stream. All right, and we did talk about this one too, is that if you're selling other people's products, a really simple thing to do is to create some how-to training videos or how-to training systems for a product or a service that you are an affiliate for. So again, that's good for lead generation. So does that give you some ideas there? Anything sort of interesting there that sort of really sparked your imagination and sort of thinking about some possibilities for your business? Feel free to drop it in chat or unmute yourself. Just
aggregation and rebilling.
Aggregation and rebilling. How can you see that working for you?
Well, I have so many trainers on here that often need similar products. So pulling them together and offering it as a service.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you're in an ideal position for that. Yep. Anyone else?
Yeah, I've got, I like that VIP, Nick.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can see some opportunities for your business with that?
Yes, I can. Yeah, with all the members being in different industries and fields.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
A bit like RACQ.
Yeah, very much like that. That's a club membership. That's recurring income. Absolutely. Yep. All right, so I've given you 13. I said 12, but I've given you 13 to think about. Now, you don't have to go off and implement all of them. But it would be good to think about what recurring revenue option out of all of these could you implement in your business. Well worth having a think about it. And when you hear your brain going up to say, no, that wouldn't work on my business, just remember, switch it around to say, how could I make this work? And just have a bit of paper, do a bit of brainstorming, just sort of jot down some notes. You'll be surprised what you can come up with. And if the biggest businesses on the planet built their business with recurring revenue, is there any good reason for you not to? So you don't have to be the biggest business in the planet, but you just need to sort of think about, even if it was as simple as just covering your monthly expenses and your overheads, would it be worth it investing a bit of time into putting together some form of recurring revenue in your business? So my challenge to you really is just this. What's that?
Nike.
Just do it.
Right.
So, these sort of concepts are all well and good, but it's a bit like those courses where only 5% of people are actually doing anything with it. I would hope that everybody here is in that 5%, because I really think there are some excellent opportunities. Like some of the people on the call here, I know your businesses, and I know there's some opportunities there. And I've been thinking about some of these as I'm thinking about who's likely to be here. So there are some good opportunities. My challenge for this year is creating implementing one recurring revenue stream in my business for the next 12 months. And I reckon we could get up to $100,000 worth of recurring revenue by 1st of December this year. And I know that's achievable because I've done it before. But, we're in a different industry, different way of doing it. And so that's really my challenge and my goal. So who else is up for that challenge?
Oh,
Anyone?
yeah, baby.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right. So this is, just really going through it really quickly, just to give you a bit of an introduction to the whole thing. My theme of the year for this year is recurring revenue. So definitely for my business, and I'm wanting to, for anyone that wants to do that in their own business, I'm here to sort of help you to achieve that as well too. And I really would like to work with some businesses on their recurring revenue. And if you make another 100K, I reckon that's going to be a heck of a party at the end of the year once you've done it. Even if it's only sort of 20 or 30,000, what would that do? Like even if it's like another, I don't know, $100 or $200 a week, how would that affect things? Like for some people, that's, that fills the petrol in the car. For some, it might just, just pay for sort of some leisure activities or whatever. Just think about, even if it's only quite small, I'm all up for 100K in recurring revenue over and above everything else, and happy for, if there are other people that want to join me on that journey too. So on Monday, the 8th, we are starting I think it's going to be on Facebook, but certainly a challenge, 5-day challenge on recurring revenue. So we'll go into some of these concepts in a lot more depth and a lot more detail so that you can start to think about how you can implement some of these. And it will be in partly a workshop style. So we can have a look at your business for you to bring along some of your questions and how do we do these sort of things in business. And I'll take you through some of these strategies that I know work, some of the ones that I've worked with, so that you've got a solid framework to begin to implement recurring revenue strategies in your business. So anyone interested in that?
Yeah, what time, Nick?
Probably at this stage, mid-morning.
Right.
Yep. For an hour for 5 days for that week there. I'm thinking probably around about the 11 o'clock-ish sort of mark. Does that work with you?
Yeah, I'll just make sure I won't book anything around that time. I'll book in the afternoon.
Okay. Yeah, good as gold. All right. Oh, we've got Donald sorted now. Does that work for everyone else?
Yep, that works for me, Nick. Gail and myself will have Chantel's Zoom call at 1 p.m. on Mondays.
1 p.m. Okay.
Yeah, so 11 works well for us.
Perfect. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to be clashing with her one as well too, because I'm doing hers as well.
Are you?
Yeah. Yes, of course. There's always more to learn, isn't there?
Absolutely. She's fantastic.
Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah. So if you go to this link here, smashgo.co/MRRC, MRR stands for Monthly Recurring Revenue Challenge. And you can register there. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. Well, today it's free because I didn't get time to put up any billing at all. So possibly it'll be a $97 program coming up. But if you're there today, it is absolutely free. So smashgo.co, we'll pop that link into chat as well too. All right, well, let me stop my screen share. Any questions on that? Anyone got any questions?
No.
No? I'm just trying to get out of here. Here we go. Okay.
Mine's not a question. It's more a different term that I use. I call it passive income.
Yep. Passive income is a related term.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So,
my digital art lesson plans are what I call my passive income.
okay. Yep.
I set them out, and like that, they start from $5, but they can go to anywhere in the world because you pay for it, it downloads, and you've got it.
Yep. So that, passive income, recurring income. I tend to avoid the word passive because that indicates no work or no effort. And even though you can run these programs with very little work or effort, often there is still some input in to maintain it and keep it running. So I just don't want to give people the illusion that there's no work at all. There is work that goes into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions, comments? I've lost my chat, so if you put anything in there, I can't even find it on my screen at the moment. Here we go. Here it is here. All right. Brilliant. Thanks, Gail. Never disappoint. Thank you very much. All right. All right. Well, look, I would encourage you. That's it for the evening. We've gone a little bit over time, so thanks for sticking with me. I did throw that extra one in there. Hopefully that's been helpful. If you've got any questions at all, or you want to have, or you want to run an idea past me, definitely open to that as well too. So feel free to drop me a message in Messenger in the Business Owners Smashing It Online Facebook page. And in fact, if you're not in that Facebook page, go and join it, because all of these meetups get announced there, so we're promoted there, and I'm often dropping bits and pieces into that forum as well too. So that's the Business Owners Smashing It Online on Facebook. For those that thought office hours was today, it's tomorrow. So sorry about that. I tried to get a message out and realized we didn't get it all out in time. So really just Australia Day, mucked it up. I thought, well, we'll move it on tomorrow. So we are doing office hours tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. So it's 10 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time. So feel free to come along to that. The link is in chat for you to go and register. It's on Zoom. So bring a coffee, whatever you want to drink in the morning as well is fine. It really is quite a casual chat, but we do pick up some interesting topics like this one here that we start to take a bit further. So, so everyone's welcome to come along to that. And what else have we got? YouTube, we'll have this up on YouTube probably tomorrow. So if you want to come back and watch it again, it'll be up on our YouTube channel. And you can, if you just go to YouTube and search Smash Go, I think we'll try and get that up into chat as well too. There we go. It's in chat. It's in chat now. So, and if you can please, subscribe to the page. We have only 55 subscribers on there, and I need to get to 100 so we can get our vanity name, which is where we can actually use Smash Go as a name instead of all the series of numbers and letters that they give us.
See.
All right. That's it for tonight. Sorry.
On which one did you want us to subscribe?
To YouTube. So find
YouTube.
Smash Go on YouTube and subscribe to that would be awesome.
Okay.
I think I am.
Excellent. All right. Well, look, thanks everyone for coming on tonight. Thanks for sticking with me for a little bit longer than I promised.
Thank you. It was excellent.
Yeah, excellent. All right. And look forward to seeing some of you on the challenge, and hopefully working with some of you over the next 12 months on your recurring revenue streams to your business. I reckon it's a pretty exciting year and lots of opportunity. All right. Go and have a good night, and we shall see you back here next week or tomorrow or whenever.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in and listening to the Business Owners Smashing It Online podcast. You can also find me on social media and online. Just search for Business Owners Smashing It Online and Nick Cree, spelled Nikcree, all one word. If you like this and want to hear more, subscribe now. Until next time, don't be a slave to your business. Get your business working for you.